ladles, jelly spoons, and all other non-binary kitchen utensils. Welcome to the Gravy Wheels podcast. I'm your host, Andrew.
And I'm your host, Jehovah.
And I'm Franklin.
Dude, I did not know what order we were getting. I was terrified there for a second. I was deer in the headlights, man. Not gonna lie.
See, it's hard to change things.
It's hard being a co-host, too. That's true. Frank's already chugging daily. Is that even frozen? I feel like that's probably just thawed.
No, I set them out 30 minutes ago, but since it took us so long to get started, they're fucking... Hey, booze is booze, am I right?
Using it like a hot water bottle.
Yeah. Put it on one of those backpacks just with the hose.
Next segment here, Frank. What the fuck are you doing?
He's failing us.
Dailies.
Has anybody watched any content releases from Poopy Soft or Revolver Digital?
Yes, both. Which ones did you watch? Did you watch the Ubi one, Frank?
Yes, that was Sunday.
Yeah, and you watched just the
Devolver.
Ubi one, right?
No, I watched the Devolver one.
No, yeah. No, I know you, but I was talking to Joey.
Oh.
No, I haven't seen anything. I really should have watched at least like the Far Cry thing. All I saw is that it was Gus Freeman smoking a cigar.
Gus Fring.
Yeah, Freeman. Camp Froman. You know where you get the sniper rifle on Zanzibar?
Yeah, I know. It was funny to see those one day after the other because you got to see you motherfucker.
Makes me so nervous.
Because like I was watching the Devolver one and like if you've never seen a Devolver press conference, they're like ridiculous B movies essentially. Like they're super fucking gory and like people turn into cyborgs and all kinds of crazy shit happens.
Right.
And I'm like, that's like, I feel like that's kind of run its course. It's not quite like my lane, and I'm like, you're trying a little too hard. And then the next day I see Ubisoft and I'm like, holy shit, that's so much fucking better to at least try to have a personality instead of just being like blandly announcing the new Assassin's Creed.
Right.
I'm just like,
I didn't watch that.
And none of the games that they showed off at the Ubi press conference were actually reveals. They were all things that people knew about already.
And had seen leaked video gameplay of.
Well, yeah.
A lot of leaked gameplay.
I think Far Cry 6 was supposed to be the reveal, but then it leaked a few days before.
Yikes.
Rough.
Devolver was hilarious.
You like the Devolver one?
Yeah. Because they totally just made fun of other companies and how they revealed games and how, like, some of their business practices and stuff like that. And there was a little gore and a lot of comics, and then there's like a throwback to Quantum Leap. Did you notice that?
I didn't even notice. Oh, is that what we had?
And it's kind of like what it looked like. I don't think it's exactly what he had in Quantum Leap, but it looked like it. While he was smoking the cigar, too, which didn't his character in Quantum Leap. Whatever. That was good. And then right at the end of the conference, they announced a video game that you could automatically go to Steam and download and play. And that was pretty tight. That was really cool.
Devolver Land Expo. Yeah, if you're listening to this, it's like it's a marketing simulator is what they build it as, but it's basically they sort of recreated the floor of E3 but just the Devolver booth parts, or what would have been E3 this year, and you can walk around in like first person shooter style and like go check out their booths.
I didn't realize that it was a part of an actual conference. I just saw all the buzz. They made a big splash. It was a genius move because whenever they did it, everybody was talking about it on Twitter, and that's how I saw it. And I didn't realize you guys were already talking about it, but I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was doing other stuff. And then whenever I saw that, I just checked out the Steam page and kind of watched the preview for a second. I thought it was a really awesome idea. And then I linked it to you guys. You guys are like, that's what we're already talking about. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I spent enough time with it to get all the achievements for it, at least. It didn't take very long, but...
Yeah.
Nice.
So, there's a glitch, though. I know that I didn't get the 2 unannounced game awards. I only got one of them, but I should have gotten all of the others, and I didn't because it gave me. I think I'm missing 5. I'm missing the 2 unannounced game ones, and then I made a point to sit through all the way and watch all the entire presentations, and then I even went back and watched another one completely all the way through, and I didn't get that. So I'm gonna go redo it because I'm an achievement slut.
Yeah, it's easy, so you might as well.
Do you guys think that there's anything that Steam, or not just Steam, I guess, but Xbox, PlayStation with trophies? Do you guys think that there's anything that anybody can do to make them actually like feel like they did back in the day of the 360?
I think that dopamine hit is just kind of gone. Like
Yeah.
when it was new, it was really exciting and it felt good to get them all the time. But now it's like
I was also thinking a large part of it for me. I was a part of a forum or two in that time frame, and you guys will probably remember the forum signatures where there was all kinds of websites that would just generate forum signatures based on your gamertag information, and it would just display your gamertag and like your last 5 games played, your total gamer score, stuff like that. And I feel like that was, being active on a forum and having that there to like people were constantly seeing your progress and your achievements, literally, that I think that was a lot to do with the hype, at least for me. And I feel like obviously, there's no, I don't know, unless somebody has like a social media platform that sprouts up where you could like display your gamer score or something. I don't know, but I miss those days, man. I wish Steam achievements meant more to me because I would like to like grind that stuff again.
I do like having that you're able to set those on your Steam profile though.
Yeah,
you can set have it display your rarest achievements or games that you've 100%ed or whatever.
Well, I've noticed that they I think it was just with the summer sale, they did animated backgrounds and I think animated achievements too or something, or you could put like a badge around it or something. I can't remember exactly. It was like stickers that you could use in chat, but you could also show it off like in the same spot that you would show off an achievement. So it's nice to see that Steam isn't just like abandoning that kind of stuff. They're actually kind of putting more features into profiles and achievements and all that. So
and the trading cards have had stuff linked to them for forever, like the page backgrounds and emoticons and all that shit.
Right, yeah. And some games utilize that better than others, but that just goes with that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Same thing even on Xbox One. There was some games you just would get like a little icon, and then some games there'd be like a picture behind the achievement that you could actually set as your background for the console.
That's cool.
Yeah. Frank, are you
What
like
about
being
you?
attacked or something?
Oh, my neighbors are just being extremely freaking loud.
Nice.
Did you see anything in either of those pressers that was intrigued you?
The Carrion.
Oh
game,
yeah.
The Predator or not Predator, the Thing type game. That's gonna be pretty tight. Side scroller sneaker assassination game where you play as a monster that's kind of like the Thing. Seemed pretty good. And then is that Shadowrun?
Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior. That was pretty good. I have like one or, because this is gonna be the third one. I have 1 or 2 that I picked up a long time ago that I never fucking played, so I might actually play it now.
Oh, there you go. You saw all the stuff that was announced at those, right, Joey?
No, I didn't. Sorry. I'm busy.
Where and how?
Dude, look at this, man. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Yes.
on the N-Gage that I, not gonna lie, mostly bought just so I could bring it up on stream and see your face whenever you saw it. I found it on eBay listed as is for parts. Got it for $80, but it came with Crash Nitro Kart and I don't know if you can see it in there, but Sonic N And
Very good.
Yeah. And then I bought Tony Hawk for 20.
I'm sure those are really high quality games.
Dude, Tony Hawk plays surprisingly well. Like I played through the warehouse and got all the tapes in the warehouse and unlocked the school, and it's pretty nice, man. I think it has like an 850 milliamp battery, and it's hilarious.
Oh.
So here, I'll shut it off and show you. So you have to.
I was gonna say I want to see you put a different game in.
Let me just break it real quick. So yeah, so here is the back. You have to pop the battery out, push this little thing down, slide the game out, and then, you know, slide your other one in. The SIM card goes right here, but it's the old fat SIM cards, right? So luckily I had these SIM card adapters because it's the same stuff that I use for my internet. And I had some old SIM cards laying around. Verizon SIM cards, well, first of all, whenever I got it out of the package and turned it on, it just says SIM card rejected. So you can't do anything with it. It's just like a bricked phone, right? So I'm like, shit. So I'm like digging through my stuff. I find an old Verizon card, finally get it in there, because this thing, once you put it in the little adapter and it's upside down, it would like push the SIM card out of the adapter. And I had to like try it for 15 minutes before I got the SIM card in there. And then it says, yeah, SIM card rejected on the Verizon. So I popped that out, try an AT&T, and it actually accepted it. And so then I could play games on it. And then I kept it, dude, it took me forever. I was like looking up N-Gage tutorials because I was just taking the cartridge. Like when you see that, right, you're just like, oh, okay, I guess you just plop the game down here on top. And then throw the back on, and I'm like, and I'm throwing the back on, and then it's not like auto booting the game. I can't find it in the settings or anything, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized you have to pop the battery off to get the game in. It's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Tony Hawk actually plays surprisingly well. Crash Nitro Kart is fucking garbage. I was really excited about it, but when you try to play, it's literally the same game as far as I can tell, but you're playing on portrait mode. You know, so you can't fucking see where the track is going to go until you're right there. And whoever had it before me actually had like 46% completion or something on the game save. But yeah, I think I'm going to sell that and Sonic, and maybe there's Super Monkey Ball is on this, and it's supposed to be pretty decent. I was watching some gameplay of it, and there's one
Tomb
other.
Raider, I think?
Yeah, there's Tomb Raider. There's like 3 Splinter Cell games for this thing. Chaos Theory and 2 other ones. I can't remember exactly which ones. I was like, Jesus. Oh, Red Faction is on this too.
I'm sure that they got the destructible terrain in there and everything.
I wondered about that.
So this has been a secret project for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. And we were actually going to see if we couldn't get it so I could call him on the phone. And he picks it up and he holds it to his face. But it's fucking 2G, and that's been dead since like 2016. Yeah. So I was trying to find all these goddamn workarounds and shit, and like it's impossible. And, like half the people like on the tutorials and on the emulation and mod scene,
just brain
they're
dead
all
people.
like 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old message board posts, and they're all just like made by people who are just drooling all over their fucking keyboard because they're vegetables in the brain.
Frank and I have just been digging through message boards for like a week trying to figure stuff. And then I was like, oh, because I was going to buy a prepaid SIM. And then I was like, well, I have AT&T, which apparently is accepted by it. So I'm going to pop mine in and see, you know, if it can find service in it. And it wouldn't. And that's whenever I did the research and found out that, yeah, apparently they got rid of 2G networks back in like 2016. But yeah, we were going to, I was going to give out the Taco phone number too. Or I was going to tease it in this episode and be like, hey, next week come out and I'll tweet out my phone number on the N-Gage and you guys can call in and we'll answer some questions. Like we had it all planned out, but the network's down, so we can't.
It's a shame. Just for people who aren't super familiar with N-Gage, can you like demonstrate how you would go about talking into it?
Yeah, so I think it was this way. I think this is the microphone down here, right? So when you were to talk, you would have to hold it like this, or
That's right.
Yeah, but I think this is the speaker here. and then this is the mic. So I don't even know, man. It's
It's
very
definitely
confusing.
you definitely hold the flat side up to your head like this. I
Yeah.
just don't know which side is the top and which is the bottom.
I, I don't either. It's not very well designed. There's actually about 45 audio files, which are like, what were they, Frank? M4A or something? I can't remember.
AMRs.
AMR, yeah. There's like 40 or 50 AMR files on here where someone recorded themselves listening to an FM radio station so they could have like bootleg music on this thing. And I couldn't get the files to play on the phone. It's like, it makes you like plug in a headset. A 3.5 millimeter headset won't plug into it. It's smaller than that. So it must have had some proprietary headset, see? And so it does have Bluetooth. So I found out that I could send those files, those audio files, which I think are a max 1 minute long. He literally just broke up one listening session into like 40, 50 files. I Bluetoothed those files to my girlfriend's phone, and then we downloaded an app just to play them and listen to some like mid 2000s, or I don't even know what year, radio jams. It was pretty good stuff.
That's so excellent.
If we could have pulled this off, it would have been excellent.
It would have been
but
more epic, yeah. I even actually I ordered an upgrade too. I think it's like an 850 milliamp battery, and I got on eBay or Amazon, one of the two, and I found they have like 2400 milliamp batteries for it, for like $10. So I ordered one of those. But I figure when we meet up later this month or whatever, you guys can get hands on with the old N-Gage.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy to. I don't know if I ever touched one outside of like a GameStop standee.
That was my thing. I had never even seen one, you know. And whenever I saw, well, when I found the listing, I sent Frank a screenshot like a week ago. I think the bid on it at the time was like $30, like $25, $30, something like that. So I was like, damn, that's, you know, really not bad at all. And then so I watched it at that point, and I got to looking at the sale history, and they generally sell for like, I think closer to like 150, 200. But the reason that this one wasn't getting that much traction is because it was listed as is for parts, which basically means that if you get it and it's in pieces, you can't really fault the seller.
Yeah.
And you're just shit out of luck. But I was like, I'll take my chances on it because the description said, you know, works fine for playing games, but needs a SIM to use as a phone or unlock or something like that. So I was like, well, it sounds like he probably used it before, and it's not going to be just a brick phone. So I tried it, and then I set up my I had a snipe bid website actually set up for it because I didn't want to miss it, and I put my max bid at $100. It was at like $40 until the last 6 seconds of the auction, and it shot up to, I think I paid like 84 or something like that. So there was a bunch of people with really high max bids, but luckily I got it, buddy.
Worth it. Worth every penny.
Oh, so worth, dude. Original soundtrack on Tony Hawk and everything. It's beautiful.
Amazing.
So good.
So we had a comment question from user Tfoul on YouTube.
Tfoul?
Tfoul, like the pants. I don't know. Excluding video game consoles, what was your favorite piece of tech growing up, and what is it now?
Crickets.
I sent this to y'all like an hour ago.
I know, and I didn't think of an answer then either.
Well, I feel like Andrew and I just talked for a long time. So do you have your answer ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead there, bud.
What do you got?
Excluding video game consoles, I always remember making cassette tapes off the radio. We had like a double dub like setup boombox, and like at one point Dad would actually have me make him like mixtapes where I would have to put in the CD and play it and then record it on the mixtape because one of his trucks didn't have a CD player. So I would like be doing like putting like Clapton and ZZ Top and you know, all sorts of nonsense on those so that way he could listen to them on his way to work or whatever, I don't know, and then making my own.
Was that the Ranger that he didn't have a?
No, the Ranger had a CD player. It was that S10, the S10 that
That's right. You had you had both the little trucks.
Yeah. And yeah. Always like making mixtapes or my own CDs way back in the day. Got in trouble for a few of them.
I
But
found
yeah.
some that you made and either gave to me or I just ended up having them. But I found some not too long ago. I remember a while back. I can't remember. It said something, terrible on the disc, written in Sharpie or whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, I
Sure.
remember that. That came from Frank."
New technology. My new favorite piece of tech. I bought one of those composite copper pans, the set of pans that are the copper thing. Man, that's
Yes,
some next
sir.
that's living in 2030, man.
Dude,
That's some
those
crazy
things.
tech, dude.
I got
Well,
lucky at a Dollar General. I went in. I didn't have. We do the white elephant exchange thing,
Hmm.
and I didn't have a gift yet, so I went into Dollar General on the way to the Christmas party to just like I gotta find something, and they had their as seen on TV rack was buy one get one free, and they had copper pans in there, and so I was like, well, I've heard that I've heard pretty good things from people, so I picked up 2 copper pans, one for the gift because they were normally like 25, $30, something like that, got one for free, and so I kept one and gave one away. But dude, I love it. In fact, I need to get more. I want to get like a big square pan and kind of the whole set. But
They're great. Yeah, we finally just got one after we stayed at an Airbnb somewhere, and they had one there, and we
yeah.
used it, and we were like, "Oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
great."
I mean, it's
We're
like
gonna
you
get
don't
at
really.
least.
It's one of those things you don't really buy into the hype until you use it or stumble upon a one on buy one get one sale or something like that. Once you see it, then you're like, yep, need it.
Yeah, I was very happy to not be like scraping eggs off of a pan anymore. Just like,
Exactly. That's how you know we're old, when we're excited about copper pans. But it's fun.
that's right.
yeah.
Let me tell you about my fiber supplement.
Yes.
You take the Xylem husk every morning too.
Flaxseed.
When I was a kid, I had a TV that I really loved, and I think it is probably the same TV that you used, Joy, when you would come over to my place. The white CRT TV with a built-in VCR
Mm-hmm.
on the bottom.
I remember.
I had that TV since I was probably, I don't know, since I was young, like 10 maybe. I had it for a really long time, and I just really loved it because also it was like the only white TV I had ever seen. And I
Yeah.
thought that the novelty of that was enough to like make it really exciting to me as a kid.
Right.
And right now, my favorite piece of technology that's not a console is, I don't know, maybe my keyboard. I'm pretty fond of my keyboard.
That's
I,
fair.
I I love these. This is part of a video game thing, I guess, but these like Joy-Con replacements,
Mother of God.
they're fucking awesome
They're massive.
because I hate holding the Switch like that. It's just like it's too tiny for my hands, and I don't even have big hands. I just have regular ass human-sized hands.
Right.
But these they don't have rumble motors in them. They don't work wirelessly, but they're like shaped like a controller is shaped. They have proper sized joysticks
I
on
was gonna
them.
say they look pleasing in the hands.
They're awesome. Love them.
So I guess mine would have to be my favorite old school tech. And I don't know why this was the first thing that popped in my head whenever I heard that question, but it did. So that's what I'm going with. The Microsoft Zune would have to
Oh
be
fuck yeah.
my favorite old school tech. I believe you could play some video files on it because I remember putting some of like the Halo videos and stuff that I was making at the time on my Zune,
Yeah.
and it was just I believe, was it, I don't know, was it a little bit cheaper than the iPods at the time?
They were comparably priced. I think
Okay.
maybe a little tiny bit cheaper.
I don't know if that was the reason I had one or just I was such an Xbox fanboy. It was probably more that, but I remember just really, really thinking it was pretty awesome. And then I took it a step further. I remember, I think what had happened was I had broke the screen on mine and looked into it online, and it seemed like a fairly simple process. So I bought a screen replacement kit and fixed the screen on it myself and snapped it all back together, and it was like good to go. And the Apple products have always been, I don't know for sure back then, but Apple products have always been like, they basically don't want you to get into it or be able to do any of that stuff yourself service wise. So I remember just being like super, proud of myself that I was able to fix my Zune on my own. And then my little entrepreneurial ass back in high school, I started buying cracked screen Zunes on eBay and replacing the screens and flipping them way back. I don't know what grade we would have been in at the time, but I was hustling all the way back then in the day. So yeah, I got to go with the Zune. And then
I can't believe I forgot about the Zune because I
dude,
was also a big Zune person.
so good.
Oh,
I
they're
still to
great.
this day, every once in a while, I'll get on eBay and look at the Gears of War and the Halo 3 edition Zunes and just like, I really shouldn't spend $300 on this, but I kind of want to just so it can sit on a shelf because it's so cool.
I used to have one of the frosted pink ones of like the original model,
Right.
and then I replaced that one with one of the black, like updated ones that had the sort
Yeah.
of touchpad on
The
it.
better. Yeah. Yeah, because the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one had like a textile button on it, I believe, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It had a ring and then a button in the middle.
I think that's the one I had. I don't know if I ever had the touchscreen one. And one of the ones, I think the Halo one was a newer version, and the Gears was like the OG model, or maybe it was vice versa or something. I don't remember exactly, but those things were fun, man. That's some nostalgia thoughts right there for sure. But my
Yeah.
new piece of tech would probably have to be, what was that, Frank?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
My new piece of tech would be the JFJ Easy Pro. I think that's what it's called. Some of you guys probably don't know what that is. Once I started doing, yes, once I started doing my eBay hustle these days, I invested in one. I think they're about $200. But it's a legit disc resurfacing machine. Because I remember back in the day, like if you scratched your favorite game or whatever, you just bought another one, or you would take it to Game Exchange. Remember, Game Exchange would resurface your disc, but they would charge like, I think it was at least $5, if not like 7 or 10 or something like that. And there was like no guarantee that it was going to work.
Yeah, there was no guarantee it would work, but also at one point, I swear that they had a package where you could pay for like 10 or 15 reservices, and it actually worked out to be cheaper.
Oh, really? Yeah, I never invested in that service.
I had so many issues with my freaking Dreamcasts.
Yeah, that's so whenever I started getting games, a lot of times you find a video game at a yard sale and it's like, something that would be a $30-$40 game, but it's scratched to hell and you're like, I don't even know if this is going to work. So I thought, well, I'll make that little bit of an investment, and then when I test them, if they don't work, I can just resurface it. And it's got like it's got like a fine grit and a heavier grit sanding pad, like sandpaper, and then it's got a buffing pad or two different buffing pads with two different polishes. Like, it's super legit. You gotta either read the manual thoroughly or watch a bunch of people doing it on YouTube before you even attempt to do it, because I have personally ruined like good games, just being like, oh, I'll figure it out, and then it's like, no, it's not like that. But it's a pretty handy thing to do, or to have, if you can, justify the cost.
I used to have a disc doctor. It was like the
hand crank one.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
I can
It kind of looks
it.
like
a pea
gun a little bit, but you
Yeah.
can crank.
Yep.
What am I looking at here?
Is that
This
an
is
old
an
iPod?
iPhone 3.
Oh my!
An iPhone.
iPhone 3. I think I had this for like 5 years, but look at that.
Custom front plate.
Yeah, and custom backplate. That's like a brushed steel backplate.
Very nice.
Damn, girl, you fancy.
Well, because I kept this thing for like 5 years, because every time something would break, I would repair it myself. Like, I had the full setup to do it. But yeah, the custom blue on it,
That's pretty sweet.
and then you could even do they had like camo. They had all sorts of them, and then I put a custom backplate on it. That was pretty tight.
I picked up a 4 recently at a yard sale for like $5, assuming that it would be worth more than that. And then I got home and started researching, and like, no, not really.
No.
I just bought an iPhone 4 for no reason. And then I think I thought, like, well, I'll use it because I have 2 different eBay accounts. So I was like, well, I'll just have like one eBay account logged into that, and then I can check orders and stuff like that. And you like can't even get most of the apps that you think like, oh yeah, I'll just put that on it. You can't anymore because they're outdated to where they're not supported anymore.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
like
was kind of
super obsolete.
Yeah, it was a big It was a big oops to Daisy.
All right, oddball question. Oddball question.
Shoot.
If you could take, this is going to be a bit of a thinker here. If you could take one video game that's of a certain genre, like platformer, FPS, RTS, whatever, if you could take that game and then you could put it onto a different style of game, what would it be? And I'm going to give you an example of one.
Sure.
Did you guys ever play any of the political machine games where it's like a presidential election simulator?
No, I know what you're talking about, but I've never played one.
I think that would be cool if you could turn that into a fighting game.
Just have all the different, I can't even remember the word, candidates.
Duking it out for votes. Yeah, I think that would be yeah. And
Or you could just like combine it in like Mortal Kombat.
Jesus.
So you'd have
just like Trump and
just
Obama ripping each other's spines out.
Yeah, just at the end of Mortal Kombat, whoever wins the tournament is president now.
I like it.
President Shang Tsung.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. You guys got any other ideas, huh?
There's a lot of games I think that have really cool worlds that I like am interested in and want to spend time in, but are like a part of genres that I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this. Like there was a long ass time ago, there was a game in development called StarCraft Ghost, and it was going to be a GameCube action game. It was like sort of a Splinter Cell sort of deal, sort of like a third person action adventure game where you played as one of the ghosts from StarCraft. And fuck, man, I wish that existed. I want some other way to enjoy StarCraft beside an RTS. World of StarCraft, I'd take that. Just anything else besides an RTS.
I've always really thought that Halo should do an RTS. JK.
They did.
I know. Dude,
Yeah,
I don't know what it... I've always really liked RTSs.
They did too.
Right. I've always really liked RTSs. I've always really liked Halo, but I could never really get into Halo Wars for whatever reason. It was just
trying to... They built it with controllers in mind, so it always felt pretty weird.
Yeah, that's probably... I do remember... I don't know if it was I don't know if the first one, but the second one had like really badass cutscenes. Like the cinematics were fucking fantastic.
It reminds me, I gotta try Gears Tactics.
Yeah, I haven't tried that either, man. They sent me a code. I don't even think I installed it. I do think that on the note of Halo, though, I've always thought that Halo could actually do a pretty good battle royale, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried it with Infinite. You know, I think
definitely.
I think if they did it right, you know, obviously there's all kinds of previous assets as far as weapons and vehicles and, you know, even equipment, characters, just lore to work with. It's all there already. All the assets are just there waiting for it to happen. And if there's any time to try it, it would be now. Do it exactly like Modern Warfare did, where the Battle Royale version of the game is free. Try to get people to come over and try out Battle Royale. All the BR heads would come over, and if they liked it a little bit, you know, maybe they would actually try out Infinite, and they could bring some more people over to a dying franchise.
That seems pretty likely to me, honestly.
Yeah, I would not. Well, also, the rumor for a long time has been that it's going to be a... How is it going, Mr. Evil? The rumor's been for a long time that it's going to be like an open world style game, Infinite. So why, you know, if they are going to have a large scale map for the game already, why wouldn't they just, you know, carry that asset over to a battle royale mode?
Or if it's like big and open world, like it could be like, I don't know, Halo's version of Destiny fucking 2.
You mean like with a big multiplayer hub?
Yeah.
Where you
different
find missions and all that, yeah. Quite possibly.
The idea of an open world Halo does very little to interest me.
Really?
I'm like, I'm a little burned out on open world as a concept.
Yeah, Gears kind of did it. I mean, they had... It wasn't like truly open world, but it was kind of there. Gears 5.
I haven't played it yet, so... but like... I want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I'm pretty excited for that. It's been getting good enough reviews. Like it's been a little tepid considering like what AAA games usually get. Um, but beyond that, and that's only because like that's an aesthetic that's really interesting to me. The whole like samurai movie look of shit, being able to play in black and white with like film grain is
Like
pretty,
Zatoichi style.
yeah, it's like it's pretty appealing to me. But beyond that, I'm just like, man, I'm playing Death Stranding right now, which is sort of open world too. And if the point of that game wasn't sort of just like getting from point A to point B and like the fighting the landscape basically as you go, then I think it would not work for me. But like then for that you have a reason why the map is so big, because like it's something that you're trying to conquer like as you play through this game. Basically.
You know what? Just you explaining that, for some reason, you remember Lost Planet? That game just popped in my head for some reason.
Hell yeah.
That game was fun.
It was cool. I remember being really impressed by the snow physics.
Yeah, and there was just crazy monsters. Aliens, whatever they were. Alien monsters. Same thing.
Back when Capcom wanted to make good things.
Oh, that was Capcom?
Yeah, it was a Capcom game.
Wasn't there a second one too? I know that I own the first one. But was there a second one? There's three.
Wow,
There's three of them.
That.
Yep.
I don't know, man. They need to. We need new stuff. I feel like there just hasn't been. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like there's not been anything that I've been able to get behind in a while.
I think that the demo for Lost Planet was a part of the first big. It was the first big E3 after all of the new consoles came out, and Xbox was like, "We are gonna go whole hog on like bringing E3 demos to people." And so that year they put like 10 demos for like games that were still like a year and a half out on Xbox Live that you could download and play, and was really fucking cool. And they never did it again. And it was so like I always wondered why nobody tried that. It seemed like such a smart idea. You've got all these builds that are, people are playing on a show floor. Why not just fucking slap them on your service?
Well, they just announced something like that, didn't they? Is it for the Project X or is it current gen that they're going to start doing demos for?
Oh, I don't know.
I remember seeing something about it on my timeline. I think they might be talking about it more here on, what is it, 23rd, when they're doing all the video game reveals. The showcase, that's what it's called, I think.
Yeah, it knocked my mic over.
There's another thing that we skipped over. We talked about the Devolver Digital thing, but we did not talk about the Ubisoft Forward. Takeaways from that?
What is there to talk about? It's a fucking press conference where people tell you about games that you already know about.
And also, they should be looking to change their name to Poopysoft, because you were supposed to get a free copy of Watch Dogs 2 if you watched it. It still hasn't been on mine, but I actually started the stream and like an hour and 15 minutes beforehand and logged in. But like 30,000 people or some nonsense had like issues logging in and shit.
Yeah.
So they ended up just Watch Dogs 2 free for everyone, but has not popped up on Uplay for me at all. So Ubisoft.
There was like a place you had to go to get it. Did you see a link to go to their site to like get your free copy? They can't even apologize correctly.
Shout out to the game that I got early access to and some friend codes that we can't talk about. And I sent you guys codes, and you guys were playing it 10 minutes after I sent the codes. I redeemed my code. I can't even find the game to download. So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff.
Have you not been able to get that yet?
No, I keep checking the launcher and it's not there. So I guess I just need to send an email.
It's not bad. We can't talk about it, but it's
yeah, that's cool. We'll when NDAs are up, we'll
talk about that when we can.
You know what? Fuck it.
No.
It's a Teletubby Battle Royale game.
It's Barbie Princess Island Adventure Battle Royale.
No, this is what we're doing now. What would you make into a Battle Royale? What franchise do you think should not have it?
Should not.
But you could still make like a fun version out of it. Just not an obvious fit.
Wait, so one answer. What game shouldn't have, but you would do it anyways?
Sure. I don't know. Just have fun with it. Just play with me in the space.
Yikes. Worms.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
I think
kick
Worms
ass.
would be pretty cool. And it wouldn't even have to be large scale. I mean, like, to an extent, but I hate everybody's, like, idea that it has to be 100 players or more and it has to be a giant map or whatever. It could still be, you wouldn't even have to be, like a third person shooter or first person or anything. It could be what you're used to seeing as Worms, but maybe as I'm saying this, I think they might actually have something kind of similar, at least larger player base or something, but maybe it's 40, 50 players and just last man standing wins. I think it'd be sick.
I'd be into that, yeah.
I've got an idea.
All right.
Spill it.
A Sims battle royale.
I could get.
Elaborate, please.
It's The Sims and it's a battle royale game.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm sold.
So it's a neighborhood, right? And you got all your Sims, and everybody gets dropped in different houses, and you can loot them for better clothing or furniture or something.
So like
And
actually
then
violence
the zone
though?
shrinks, and then
Or is it just like reporting your neighbors to the HOA?
They would just get so sad that they had to leave.
Yeah. Like the
Just make 'em
homeowners
too sad.
association just kicks them out, and then that's how you eliminate other neighbors. I'd be
Sneak
into
into
it.
somebody else, sneak into somebody else's house and then steal their toilet and then they pee themselves to death.
yeah, or they have to pee on newspaper.
Yeah. I would. I mean, this is too easy, but like, this is not answering my question. But I will still want a battle royale.
Okay, yeah.
Like from the movie.
Yeah, from the movie, the book,
I
and
need to
all that.
watch that, man. I really need to.
Did you somehow get out of high school without me making you watch it?
Yeah, I think he did.
Dude, I can't even
did.
believe that you were that far ahead of the wave. No, yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh man, it's awesome. I would like a more like a little looser. Like I liked the feeling that PUBG had, where sometimes you would find a frying pan and you were like, "Well, fuck it, I gotta make this work
Right.
because I can't get anything else."
This dude knew about Battle Royale back in like 06, man. You are
I was a little ahead of the curve.
yeah.
So, wasn't there something in that where the heads exploded in Battle Royale or something?
Yeah, they were wearing collars that
Spoilers.
each. Well, I mean, it's not really. It's just part of the
It's
setup.
like
of the
every
movie.
sci-fi movie back then too.
Yeah, they had collars on that if you like pass a certain boundary or was triggered remotely, would explode and blow your head off.
There's
And
another.
Once again on the spoilers, we're not worried about spoilers, and if it's been out longer than the Confederacy lasted, then it's free fucking game, guys.
We're not going to talk about new release spoilers though. But
No, yeah.
I remember some back in the day. My mom would just go to Scotton's Video and rent me a bunch of VHS, and I remember watching some sci-fi movie back then with explosive collars. They were like prisoners of some sort, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it The Running Man?
I don't think it was The Running Man. I think it was something different.
Okay.
Because I remember The Running Man, but this feels like a different thought.
That one scene in Wild Wild West.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Flying discs.
the cornfield or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, did they ever make a Running Man video game?
Nah.
Besides the Amiga, like the old school piece of shit one on the Amiga.
The closest they got was Manhunt. I think of Manhunt as a Running Man game, really. It's like the same premise. You're stuck in this like huge section of city blocks with all these people that want to kill you, and you're trying to get from point A to point B.
Are there any movies out there that is like a super obvious setup for a video game that just never happened?
I mean, like, Live, Die, Repeat would have probably been a pretty obvious one.
I don't know that movie.
The Tom Cruise movie, it's because it had Edge of Tomorrow. It had 2 fucking names.
Yeah. It was like here and over in Europe, or like here it had a different name, and then the rest of the world had a different name.
So yeah,
Like that.
It's based on a manga, I think, called All You Need Is Kill. And then when it came out here, it was called Edge of Tomorrow, which is the shittiest, most forgettable name ever. And then for the home video release, it became like Live Die Repeat: Edge of Tomorrow.
Huh.
But now it's basically just, if you want to find it somewhere, it's Live Die Repeat.
These titles got me remembering. Have you guys seen Guns Akimbo yet?
No, not yet.
Gotta watch it. It was pretty great.
What about an LA noir style Reservoir Dogs?
Where you're like trying to solve the crime? Like you come across this warehouse full of where something has clearly happened, and you're trying to piece together what the events of that are.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into that. It's kind of like Return of the Obra Dinn a little bit. Curse of the Obra Dinn. I can't remember what it's called.
It's any good. I wanted to pick that up. I like the art style.
I've heard nothing but like breathless praise for it. I haven't played it, but people like it. You need a notebook to play it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that this Avengers game is going to pan out? Square Enix has been working on this Avengers game for a while. It got revealed at E3, I think, last year. And I don't know. People were shitting all over it because they don't have movie likenesses. It's clearly like very inspired by the MCU stuff, but there's like Chris Evans is not Captain America. You know, it's nobody looks like anybody.
I don't do the Avengers. I can't answer this.
What is your beef with the Avengers?
I don't know. I have never watched one of them and been like, that was great. I want to watch another. I don't know. Just now, I can't. For what I'm really, really picky with my superhero movies for some reason. I don't know what it is.
So if you had to point out superhero movies that you did like, what would you pick?
Spider-Man.
Which Spider-Man?
Like the first.
Many. The Raimi ones?
The upside down
Sam Raimi
kiss,
ones?
sexy one.
Okay.
The Batman movies, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Which Batman movies?
The 60s ones starting Adam West.
Yeah, all of them. Let's be honest. Jack Nicholson. Let's see, what's the other one? Not the Avengers, but the with Chris Pratt and all that.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy, I like those. But other than that, not much, man. I don't know. I'm fucking weird. Deadpool, obviously.
Okay.
So whatever that means, I'm not a fan of the other stuff.
I don't think it necessarily means anything, but I was just curious where your barometer was.
Yeah, I mean, I can watch it and appreciate it for what it is, but I don't get excited about it. Logan was fucking great. I loved that movie.
Yeah, that one was okay.
Yes, Logan was excellent.
Not even, and that's another. So like the X-Men movies never really did anything for me either. So I went into Logan just being like, not expecting much at all. But that movie kicked ass. I don't think you can really watch that and not appreciate it for what it is, which is fucking excellent.
Yeah, it's just good. It's just straight up good.
So, like, superhero movies, like, were you a fan of, like, the Toxic Avenger, or is he not a superhero to you?
You talking to me or Andrew?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to Joey.
I don't even know who the fuck that is, so.
He definitely doesn't know who the Toxic Avenger is. Can you believe that they made that into a series of, like, cartoons and video games and shit? Like, that's the most inappropriate. It's like, I don't know.
Was it a Super Nintendo game?
I think so. I had it on the Genesis. I think there was probably a Super Nintendo version of it. It's, yeah.
So what I used to do is I would just download like every single NES, SNES, Genesis, like all those games, and just do like emulated them for years. And there were just so many shitty games that I played, and I can't remember, but ugh.
Did you ever
games out there?
Did you ever play The Adventures of Pac-Man?
Was that the side-scrolling one?
Yeah.
Like a platformer?
No, it was like
Oh.
it wasn't because Pac-Man was on the screen. He was a little guy walking around in a 2D world. But the way that you interacted with him was you had a slingshot and you could shoot shit in the world to make him react to it.
What?
Or you could give him a power pellet. So you couldn't, there was no direct control of Pac-Man. You could not like make him do shit. You had to like, if you wanted him to go like look at a mailbox or something, you had to shoot the mailbox with a slingshot. And maybe he would then walk over and check it out.
What the hell?
It was basically it was an adventure game that I tried to understand as a child and it just made me so miserable.
Didn't they do a similar thing with Frogger? They made like I think it was a 3D platformer.
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but I think I remember seeing like some gameplay or some screenshots.
Every franchise went through that like 32-bit growing pains era where they're like, well, fuck it, let's make it into a 3D platformer.
Right.
Bubsy, get over here. It's your turn.
Can't keep making the same like fucking arcade cabinet bullshit. We gotta try something and see if it sticks.
Wasn't even gaming companies that got in on that rush of platforming games. Fucking 7-Up had their own games.
Oh hell yeah.
Doritos had their own games. Remember that?
Don't talk shit about Cool Spot.
Doritos had games on the 360. Destruction,
Really?
Destruction, or some shit like that. Yeah, you were a dinosaur. You had to like destroy a city.
That's right.
I think it might have been one of those things where there was like a few of them. I think it was around the same time that the Burger King games happened.
I was just about to.
Oh yeah.
I wish so bad that I would have, and who knows, they might not be worth anything, but just to have them, if I, would have had like that collector's sense back in the day, just get all those games and just leave them sealed just to have them because they're so fucking weird.
They had one thing about those that made them really memorable for me though is that I think that they were the only discs that I was ever aware of that would play on an original Xbox and an Xbox 360.
Oh, really?
And you would get slightly different versions of the game, but it was like they worked on both consoles. So it wasn't like they weren't straight up Xbox games that worked at 360.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now I'm curious. I wonder what those go for.
I think I saw some in a like used game shop not too long ago, and it's like 40 cents or whatever.
Sneak King sealed. Let's see here.
Well, sealed.
New sealed, Big Bumpin' and Sneak King for $8.99 free shipping.
You got.
Oh shit! Wait, here's all three plus. So it's Sneak King, Bike Racer, and Big Bumpin' for $7.98 free shipping.
Pocket Bike Racer was legit fun though.
Dude, I'm just gonna get them and put them on the fucking wall for $8.
You also
appreciate them.
Some other weird video game tie-ins with fast food. Do you remember whenever Burger King, I think it was Burger King, had the Pokemon Pokeballs that had like a gold card in there?
I think I have one over here, dude.
I have one of those. I had, I think, Togepi.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of if we want to spend some time on branded video games, we can do this for a while. Is that a Poliwrath?
Poliwhirl?
Poliwhirl, one of the two. Poliwhirl. Yeah,
it's the second evolution. It's not even the good one.
It even has the I don't even know what that says.
It's like the card.
Tadpole Pokemon, capable of living in and out of water. When out of water, it sweats to keep its body slimy.
I'm talking about
19. What's the date on that? Yeah, I actually see these from time to time out in the wild. But most people think
Pokeball.
Yeah, sometimes they had. I actually saw some at an auction. They had like 5 or 6 of them still in the box in the Pokeballs. But people, the thing is like you said, people think that they're actually fucking, because they've got some weight to them. People think that these are actually fucking gold bars, and they're not. Spoiler alert: they came from. I remember trying to talk to a lady. She was trying to charge $100 for one of these, and I was like, "Ma'am, no, that's not gold." And she's like, "No, somebody told me that it is. He tested it." I'm like, "No, he did not. Like, this is not gold. You cannot try to charge somebody $100."
I heard from my cousin Irma that Burger King was handing out gold bricks to its customers.
Do you
to
understand?
These he really is the Burger King.
My cousin Delroy works at Nintendo.
You got these in a drive-through, ma'am. This does not. Yeah, 1999 Nintendo. Just cool to see, though.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for this kind of shit. Whenever I turn 60 years old, I'm just gonna have a house full of like fucking gold Pokemon cards and sealed Sneak King games and shit. And then I'm gonna be like, well, fuck, now what?
And they'll be worth like
nothing.
8,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, hopefully.
Did you guys ever get much into flight sims or anything?
No.
No, never did. I played Pilot Wings. That's about it.
Okay. Like Pilot Wings 64.
Yep.
And the Super Nintendo one. I actually have the joystick and throttle control and all that. And I was kind of excited because I heard that Microsoft Flight Simulator is
the new one?
Coming out with the newest version.
Yeah.
And I saw something today that if you want the physical copy of it, do you guys know anything about this yet?
No.
If you want a physical copy of it, guess how many discs are in there?
Oh God.
I have no idea. Isn't it
if
like
it's on DVD?
Realistic, same size as like the? Isn't it just like
if
the
it's
Earth? You could fly wherever.
Yeah, and they have actual airports and stuff.
And it's all to scale and shit. So.
Hold on. I want to make a real guess at this.
I'm gonna guess 30.
Okay. They're on DVDs.
I'm not gonna do math because I'm too fucking stupid, but I'll sit with 30.
I don't like numbers.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 25.
Very close, both of you.
Okay.
No, you're not. There's 10. There's just 10
Oh,
discs.
still,
that's a lot of fucking discs.
Yeah,
that's still a lot.
Significant for sure. That's crazy. No, I never got. I remember playing like one like Red Baron game or something that my PC could handle. It was like a little biplane.
That was a comic book. That was a comic strip in a fucking newspaper.
You're lying to me. Quit lying. I remember my PC could actually
would be
handle
sitting
it.
Joey would be sitting in a living room with a newspaper and just going.
Because that's all I had, man. We didn't have internet. We didn't have satellite TV. I was just, I had to make do. We had a set of encyclopedias, and that was about it, So I had to make do.
Yeah, I get it.
No, but what was the game before we shit all over you?
I don't know. It was just some sort of
you don't remember?
Some sort of a like biplane. I think it was my PC. I can't, because I don't think anything was out on consoles back then. I mean, well, there was some. What was the like Crimson Skies or whatever on the OG Xbox?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But I know it wasn't that though.
It was one of the first Xbox Live games.
I enjoyed those games. I was pretty big into Ace Combat for a while. Those games were fun.
Yeah.
I've tried to play some recent, some of the recent titles because they've still been making those games, and I just back in the day that was fun to me on those like really long flight missions, and now whenever I play one, I'm just like, this feels too drawn out. I don't know. There's not enough action, and when there is action, it's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, I enjoyed Ace Combat. Spent some time with that.
Yeah,
those were your games.
Can't really think of any guys flying games.
Have you guys been extremely disappointed in anything recently? Gaming related?
Uh,
Recently?
Not last week or last month or two.
I'm trying to remember what the last like major gaming disappointment I suffered was. Probably Fallout 76.
Yikes.
I'm playing that. You better start playing that.
I fully intend to come back to it too. The first time I played Fallout 76, massive disappointment. This time, now that I know what I'm getting into, I'm finding ways to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You guys playing it on console? Is it on PC?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass on PC. That's how we're playing. We didn't pay for this.
PC. Okay.
Yeah, we don't pay
that's
for
right.
shit.
It came out free.
I'm not gonna pay for Fallout 76.
It's the future.
I don't know. I wish Division 2 was a little more, I don't know, sucked me in a little more.
So that bullshit automatically installed on my fucking computer today. While, yeah, it was really weird because Breakpoint had an update too, and then I had my fucking Uplay launcher up, and I was checking shit out, and so Breakpoint got an update, and it did that update, but then the Division 2 fucking installed on there, and I've never played that. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's not really a bad game. It's like it's pretty fun. It's basically Destiny just in the real world.
Wait, what game
I
is?
had it.
The Division 2.
I thought you were comparing another game to Division 2.
Destiny 2.
Oh, Division and Destiny. Jesus Christ, yeah. I played quite a bit of that with Derek and who?
Orange plays Division 2 a lot.
I don't remember if I might have played a little with him. I played quite a bit with Derek and Nate and Hot Sauce. Like quite a bit. I'm pretty sure we beat the game. Yeah, I'm almost positive we beat it.
It's fun. Like I'm a sucker for anything that has Tom Clancy on it. Been a long time Rainbow Six fan, definitely probably the biggest one.
Right.
And like Division's fun. It's just I don't know, didn't really hook me.
Did you play the OG Tom Clancy games where you would like before you would move throughout the rooms, you'd have to like choose a route and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Choose a route for your other AI players and all that.
Yeah.
That was when I was little though, and I could not appreciate. I was not. The first Rainbow Six game that I actually enjoyed was Rainbow Six 3 on the Xbox.
So I had that kind of shitty PC that I had is I had like Morrowind, and then I had like the first like 2 or 3 of the Tom Clancy games. I forget what they were, but they were pretty tough.
There's been so many these days. Yeah, it's like hard to think back and know exactly which one I'm even thinking about.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember Operation Desert Storm?
No.
I had that game on PC and it was so bad but so much fun. It was actually really, really hard. I recently went back and was watching like a montage of the hardest games, and I believe it was on there. There was like a mission with a tank, and if you didn't play it like perfectly, it would just one shot you basically as soon as it saw you, and it was really frustrating. But it was kind of it kind of felt along the lines of some of the Tom Clancy games. That's why I liked it.
Were we talking a week or
Desert Storm?
Were we talking a week or two ago about games that we wish would get like modern updates?
So
I would like, now that we're talking about this, I'm reminded of Soldier of Fortune, and I would love to see a like PS5 Soldier of Fortune with like incredible gore physics.
I don't remember anything about that game other than I know that I had it and I know that I played it. I remember
It was super gory, and you could like dismember people in all these crazy ways. You could like
probably why I loved
arms
it.
off with shotguns.
That's crazy. So they made a video game adaptation of a magazine? No, never mind. All right.
No, that's a good joke. I like it.
Dude, I have to go back and just like after this, I just have to go back and watch some Soldier of Fortune gameplay and listen to the theme song and stuff because I need to. I don't know. I remember having it and experiencing it, but I don't remember anything about it.
The first time I ever played that game, which is known for being like super gory, first time I ever played it was in a computer lab in middle school. And inexplicably, all of the computers in the lab, not all of them, but a lot of them had this installed, and it had a demo for it installed, and the demo had LAN play, so we played it all together.
What the fuck?
In the computer lab, like when the teachers weren't paying attention, and yeah,
awesome.
Got to see some graphic headshots in my middle school computer lab.
I had a rather. I'm gonna jump back because I talked about video game disappointments, and so we got Andrew, we didn't get Joe, and we didn't get me. But I recently downloaded and got for free Stadia, and that is fucking dumb. That is one of the stupidest damn things I have ever done. So they do all the processing and all the games and all that bullshit are on their fucking servers.
On the cloud.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's made for people without gaming PCs.
It's gonna be great
like
10 years
Google
from
Fiber.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
people without gaming PCs, but who pay $200 a month for their internet.
Yeah, when
Good internet, not yours, Joey. I'm sorry.
No.
when my buddies in Zimbabwe have fucking Google Fiber, it's so dumb.
Yeah. I understand the appeal of like getting people hooked on like cloud gaming and stuff, but maybe when our infrastructure isn't such shit.
Yeah, it's just ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they actually like greenlit that project and went all the way through with it, to be honest. Unless they were just trying to be the first to the market for some reason, and I don't know. Maybe
They
we
weren't
don't.
even.
Yeah.
They weren't.
No. I don't know. It's baffling. The pricing structure is really baffling too.
Yeah, and $70, $60 for a game that you'll never have a physical copy of or be able to download and play offline like on Steam or anything.
Yeah.
Like what happens whenever it fucking folds? Like if it folds, like what happens to what you paid for? Do you ever get it?
No, that's it, man.
On that topic,
Just like
do you guys
all
go ahead?
just like all the DLC I bought for Marvel Heroes, it's gone.
It's gone.
Do you guys when you guys buy a game, do you normally buy digital or physical? And why?
I'm digital these days. When the Switch came out, I switched to digital because I knew that having games digitally on the Switch was going to be really nice.
Right.
Just having this fucking slab of games in my pocket.
Even out here in the States with like terrible internet and really liking the fact that you can have physical, like I still go get, physical copies of games for like NES and stuff like that just to have them, just to collect. But yeah, I tend to lean digital.
I'm gonna do something stupid whenever I get my new PC and I go through and I put all the other stuff in it. I'm gonna put massive amounts of hard drive storage in it and solid state drives, and I'm just gonna see how much of my Steam collection I can download and have on there.
You're nuts.
Like I'm planning on it. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna have to download games for like 2 weeks.
Do you even need to put SSDs in it, or can you just get like big external hard drives? That'd probably be way cheaper.
You can't play them on externals.
You can't.
You can back them up to an external, but you can't play them because you have to shuffle them around to a different hard drive.
Right.
If I recall correctly, because there was like 2 years where I didn't have internet, so I would download games off the university's internet, and then I would take them home and I would install them.
You should set up. You should come up with a big gauntlet of games that you need to complete out of your Steam library.
So I tried to do that, and I tried to do, because I'm an achievement whore, I tried to do that, and I went through alphabetically. I was just going to go right down the list.
How far did you make it?
Like 3 games, because the first ones at that point were like the Adams Venture games. You guys know anything about the Adams Venture?
No.
They're like, it's like a little mix between like Tomb Raider ish, but they're all like Bible story based games.
All right.
And I was like, I can't do this.
So if you click on the drop down on games and software in your library, it'll tell you how many games you have. How many games do you guys have in your Steam library?
Hold on.
I think I'm over 400. I gotta check.
I'm actually the number
my
that I have.
second
I was surprised. I actually expected it to be a little bit higher. I don't know. I feel like I buy games all the time and then just never play them. It's bad. It's real bad.
What? How many do you got?
I got 395.
He's got you beat.
According to my thing, I'm sure some of this is also like utilities like Gmod and like, map making and server utilities and stuff.
Mine's separated. Like mine says game, soundtrack, softwares, tools.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For just games, I have 571.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I've had this account. This Steam account is linked to the email address I used in middle school. Like it's really, really old.
Yeah, and I didn't have a computer worth having Steam on it for a long time. You've probably been ahead of me on the Steam game I don't know if there's a way to check our account age, but I'm guessing yours is a few years older than mine.
I think I got Steam when Half-Life 2 came out.
Nice.
I've got 430.
Damn, I'm the weakling here.
Highest hours are on War Thunder, 500 plus hours.
Oh God.
War Thunder?
I love me
That's
some
awesome.
War Thunder. Yeah.
How do you check
It's all
that?
right. I have like 350 hours in the aforementioned Marvel Heroes, which isn't fucking around anymore.
How do you check your most played game? Is it on profile?
Go to the profile and then click on games on the right hand side, and you should be able to sort. Sort by playtime or sort by name.
Oh my god. I have 2,248 hours on Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Oh God.
Wow. Whoa.
Some of that's got to be AFK time. There's no way I put over 2,000 hours on that. I put
I have 100.
387 in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, but I'm pretty sure there was a glitch with that. Like, it would keep counting time even after you close the game.
Oh. I was going to say, second for me at 150 hours is The Binding of Isaac. And close behind that is Destiny 2.
Some of these are just grossly wrong. 246 on San Andreas, 232 on Z1 Battle Royale, which is H1Z1. 213 on GTA 5. Now, I believe that. I put a lot of fucking time into that game.
I have 29 hours on Deadly Premonition, and I'm sure that at least 8 of those are from just trying to get it to run.
That'll happen, man. That will happen. See, I wish there was like a gamer score here somewhere. It doesn't even... Like, where does it even say? I don't even see like a number of achievements.
Yeah, you can see that shit. Just go back to your profile.
I have my badges here.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you can't see that, actually.
Yeah, I don't... Years
I
of...
think you have to add that to it.
There's my
You
years
have
of
to add that
service.
to your showcase.
October 24th, 2007. So, yeah, I didn't get a Steam until I graduated high school.
Let's see. I guess see where I can find mine.
I've got 1,465 achievements. Fun.
Fun.
I don't know. I can't find my time, my years served.
It's on
Yeah,
your
I
badges
only
for
have
me.
10 on this one because this is my second Steam account.
I do have a second Steam account now that I think about it, but there's no games on it. I just used it as a skin inventory. Back in the old CSGO days, you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is petered right out. And we're just looking at our fucking Steam accounts and saying shit out loud.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up, B, in the famous words of the Chappelle Show skit. Well, guys, thanks again for coming out. You guys have been fantastic. I think Frank's made it through 6 cigarettes, so this is time we got to sign off.
Thanks to Javelin for letting us use their song. So to Popinski. It's our theme.
Sorry you guys can't call me on the Nokia N-Gage. Maybe we could do some gameplay videos on the N-Gage for the YouTube channel. So check out the links in the description. Our Gravy Wheels podcast YouTube channel. We can do some. We can do Frank and Andrew's N-Gage gameplay review videos. And
So
you guys
another
can see
thing,
that.
the N-Gage was really just out there. It was ahead of its time. Think about how many other portable handheld gaming systems have 10 plus input buttons.
It was like in between the PS1 and the Game Boy Advance, though. You couldn't run Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on a GBA back then. That was the only, you know what I mean? I mean, it was
It did
kind
have-
of.
It did have ports of Tony Hawk.
Right, but they were all side scrollers, weren't they? Or like above, like, you know, like helicopter view or some.
They were like isometric views, so they had their own. They had their own 3D vision thing going on, but it was like a kind of different.
But this is legit like PS1 Tony Hawk ported to the tiniest portrait screen you could ever hope to play it on, and it's fantastic. And on that note, everybody that likes this video gets to touch my N-Gage. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Andrew, give us a final word.
Final word this week. We're gonna go with décolletage.